Network Express is running. External power on.
Hello. Okay.
This talking has up as tier 1 and says I love console accessories. End of line.
uh,
REPSHIFT 1089 sub as tier 1 and says end of line.
Vital Kneve, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for, I'm going to have to remember how to count, 18 months there. Thank you. Redshift, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 16 for 22 months there. Hi. So it's been a little while. I'm trying to think about how I want to do this. Is it possible to no? What about a VOD? I don't know. All right. I don't know, man. All right. I don't need that. I'm out of practice. We're late because I went through the whole intro just recording instead of actually streaming. I'm very brain fried here. Okay. We're set up. I'm gonna get into it. All right. So there were no streams last weekend, and I won't be streaming tomorrow either, because and there's not going to be a video tomorrow either, um, because I lost a very important family member to me last weekend, and yeah, I'm focused on that right now. So scheduled things are going to be tumultuous for a little while. So yeah, that's what's going on. I don't really want to get into it any more than that, but that's yeah. Okay. So, we're gonna get into a project that I've been pouring a bunch of time into as a distraction, um, because it's something I was already kind of familiar with, and it's kind of a comfy place for me. So, let me go over what it is exactly we're gonna be doing here. Um, so this is a software development environment. And I guess I can just do this. Yeah, no, reader did I? No, hold on. Sure, why not? We'll start there. Okay, so I've been putting together some stuff about. I guess I'm very out of it. Let's start from some basics, because the reality is a lot of you guys aren't even going to know what it is I'm talking about here. So let's start a little more simply here. All right. I think one of these, yeah, just let's start with this. Okay. I got a bunch of stuff to go over from where we're at. We may not even do any development today. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. So this is the Game Boy Advance. That part you probably know. I don't have batteries in it because I'm sensible.
Says hello, Shelby and chat. End of line.
Yeah. Okay. So, that printer looks different without Astro Cats. Yeah. So this Game Boy Advance, you'll be used to, and mine's unmodified, so you get the horrible screen. But we got lots of lights in here, so it probably doesn't matter. But you'll be familiar with this sound. There we go. That's iconic. What's slightly less iconic, is one of the stranger accessories for this thing here. Oh, you know what? I missed that. Nakalak, thank you for the Prime sub, and for, I believe it's this 23 months there. So this thing is the e-reader cartridge for this.
JENNATEE 255 subbed as tier 1 and says hail. End of line. Ransom subbed as prime and says end of line.
Gennady 255, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 4 months there. And Ratcom, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 16 months there. So this is an e-reader. The way this thing works is you have to scan a playing card to get a game into the console. So there's multiple dot codes to this. I thought this was a single dot code game. Oh, okay, it's just both sides. Okay, good to know. So you literally scan a card. There's an optical reader in there for this. And then you get a game on here based on what cards you scan. And usually the games are NES games because the cards hold about 2.02 kilobytes of data each. So not a lot of stuff. So this is a Game & Watch game that, it's very simple. So we can exit somehow and go back to the main menu here. So there were a number of e-reader titles released. I don't have anywhere near a complete collection, but it was common for them to come on a bunch of cards here. So yeah, that's like 5 cards to play the NES version of Donkey Kong. But really interestingly, I want you to think about something about this. So if you wanted to do, let's say here, play Homebrew on your Game Boy Advance, you'd need a cartridge like this that allows you to use, for some reason, an SDXC card, but adapted to a micro SD card here. So you have to use some weird fancy hardware. However, the e-reader doesn't have security checks or anything like that because the publication method is paper. So you don't have to get like specialty hardware other than this. And they kind of made a lot of these, and especially in Japan. So micro, is that SD micro? Ah, okay. That's why has only the Namco cartridge yellowed? That's That's weird. This one's not yellowed. It's just an NES game. Strange. This is like, hold on. We're gonna. Oh, that sucks. It's doing the Activision label thing. Dang, I didn't know they were doing that. I forget what the name is, but the glue is terrible. Anyway, you got to see this. This is like the most impressive GBA game ever. Just real quick, you need to see this. This thing is ridiculous. This is Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed. All right. Like, hold on. You actually need to see this. This is ridiculous, okay? Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care. All right. Just start. Go. This is a full 3D game on a GBA. Like, this is ridiculous. This thing is nuts, okay? The GBA is way more powerful than it has any reason to be. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, don't count out the GBA here. Anyway, yeah, I just figured you guys would get a kick out of that. So let's get to the chase here. This is a Game Boy Advance SP. You need to remove the batteries. They're swelling. All right. My NES one here, the battery door was getting cracked along here because the battery in there was swelling so bad. So yeah, you need to go through all your NES or your GBAs and remove the batteries. That's not what we're here for though. But like I'm gonna mention that a couple of times. Anywho, this is the thing. So in 2004, the code for the e-reader cards was reverse engineered.
GOGATGET 360 subbed as tier 1 and says happy Friday, happy March, and happy advancing. End of line.
GoGo Gadget 360, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 4 months there. Is it GBA ARM based? Yes. Need for Speed for the 3DO, it's also ARM based. Well, but that's Portion Leech, it's a completely different game. I'm gonna go back to when these were new. Wasn't this thing basically just an SNES? No, it's way, way more than an SNES. So the thing is in 2004, how to encode your own dot code for the e-reader was completely reverse engineered. So what I've been doing over the last 2 weeks as a distraction is getting these old tools. This is insane. Okay, the reverse engineering tools for this are 2 decades old. Okay, this is crazy. Like we're not using like fancy new stuff. This is old itself. Okay, the reverse engineering stuff. In its defense, this thing came out in 2001. The tools to hack on it came out in 2004. It's only 3 years between them. It's kind of like Yuzu, which yay on that whole front. Yeah, it's kind of just funny. But anyway, so what I've been doing is I've been trying to put together a more sensible modern development workflow for this stuff. So yeah, let's go over to here where you can see how my things work. So this was kind of fun. I learned how to use service menus in KDE because I got really lazy. So I can just right click and then run make clean and all here. So this is going to rebuild my project just by doing that. But here I have the code as a C file. Let's close split view. So this is C code that gets compiled into an actual GBA game here. All right. So that's what this all here is. Although that one's a little special. We're going to actually go back up to this one, which is the initial thing here. So we're going to go ahead, make, clean, build. So what this is going to do is fail. Oh, I know why, because it's probably set up for Windows Subsystem for Linux for the make file. One moment. That Microsoft Surface was quite the lifeline for me. So we're just going to go ahead and convert that over here. Let's see. Make, clean, build. All right. So now we're going to get an error. Make clean. What's going on here? Oh my gosh. How about I just look at the computer? Clean. Make. Convert. Permission denied. Okay. Well, let's just chmod plus x convert. Make. There we go. Okay. So we go through the development process and we get a code strip. All right. So this is what the e-reader scans. Now, this is MGBA. The stream is ending early as well, by the way. It's still a 2-hour stream. I am hard ending it at, for me, what is 11 a.m. So this is MGBA, and if you run the e-reader ROM that I definitely totally dumped myself, and we're actually going to get back to that because I think there's an interesting thing we can do there. You can get into this, and we're going to go ahead and actually just scan a .code bitmap. We're going to go up to this project here. All right. So this is literally this bitmap file that I just gave this. We're going to scan that. It scans it as a card. And this is my own code running on the GBA emulator through the e-reader. So it is entirely possible to create your own GBA games and publish them on paper. So I've been spending some time this last couple of weeks working on this and figuring out how to do all of it. The other project that I have in here is much more advanced. And if we just go ahead, we're going to load a temporary save to see this instead. So one of the really clever things about the e-reader is that a card doesn't hold a lot of data. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, it's just barely over 2 kilobytes of data per strip. So one of the things the developers did with the e-reader is they included a lot of ROM resources in the hardware. So if we go down to access save data here, which is a thing that's unrelated to what I'm about to do, but just don't worry about this. This is the e-reader can save cards to flash internally, so you don't have to scan the card over and over again if you're going to play the same game that has like 8 cards. So this is a different tool that allows you to pre-compile your e-reader bitmaps into flash save for the e-reader and just load it directly. So what this is a program that I've written that allows you to view all of the resources that are included in the e-reader cartridge itself. So these are a bunch of backgrounds that you can load in. There's a lot, and there's some that are included for specific products. So I assume there was an e-reader card that worked as a Pokemon card game turn counter here for Duel here. You can move the backgrounds around. You can also hide the HUD. So this is all development that I did in GBA code. So this will run on the real hardware. Asterisk. We'll get to that in a second. So those are backgrounds. We can also go through sounds, which I don't know if I have this like enabled. Actually, let's see if we can do sounds. Audio, video. Did I mute this? I did not mute it. Let's see. HDMI. Okay. I'm gonna mute me. Wait, you're hearing music now, right? Just to confirm. Okay. So that is music built into the e-reader. If I go into the sounds thing here, you can demo all of the sounds built into the hardware. So that's another thing. And then the last thing is that there are sprites built into the hardware. There is, however, some kind of weird bug that I haven't been able to resolve, and I think it's a problem with the actual e-reader development environment. We'll get to that in a little bit. but I can only load 36 sprites. So you're allowed to view all the sprites you want, but you have to actually press a button to load them. And I'll just let you know now, every sprite I've been able to find is actually just a Pokemon. I feel like there must be more sprites in here, but that's all I can find. So once you get to, if you try and load over 32 sprites, what'll happen, or 36 sprites, the system will hard crash, and it actually crashes so bad that it locks up the emulator in weird ways between resets. It's like a really bad system crash. So yeah, but this is something I've been spending some time on. I spent a lot of time trying to optimize this so that it could fit on just one strip, and I got super duper close. I'm actually kind of frustrated by this. I'm so close. So this VPK file here, this is is actually encoded into the dots here, and I got it down to 2.6, or actually 2,657 bytes. If I could get that down to below 220, it could fit into one strip, but I can't. I have tried everything. This is probably the most optimized C code I have ever written, but I still can't get it down to that size. There were a lot of little things I did. Like I made every function static void that doesn't actually, static inline void that doesn't actually return anything. So many things. Oh, I should probably kill the emulator in the background for the music, or just mute my laptop there. So yeah, lots of little things here and there. I've been trying to get this to fit on one strip, but it's not going to happen. So I give up. I can't do it. I would have to remove functionality, like remove the sprite viewer or something, and I'm not willing to do that. Oh yeah, on that, the sprites and things, it's weird, the data in the system. I'm guessing this is cruft left over from the development of the hardware and different plans and things. So you may have noticed there were counters for the sprites and backgrounds. There are some numbers, some indices for the backgrounds and sprites that will crash the system if you try to load them at all. And I had to map around those for this program to work correctly. But the sprites in particular, it's a little extra difficult to figure out which ones are which, because it crashes so bad you have to restart the emulator. So I kind of gave up around 244 sprite indices. But there could be more, and I suspect there are more because there are sprites that are specific to the system menus on here, and I bet you could load those, but I don't know how to access them. Have you seen that this does not compute Firewire, RaidCube? I have not, no. Wait, Raiders? Oh, Majenko raided. Hi. So I had to spend a bunch of time mapping around that. The sprites were really brutal. So yeah. I suspect there are more sprites in the system, but I haven't been able to find them yet. I would have to automate navigation through the menus, which might be possible, and then automate relaunching the script and recompiling with different sprite numbers and stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, that's a later thing. So, printer. Obviously, one of the things I want to do is print dot codes, because that would be awesome, wouldn't it? So yeah, very early stream because it's going to end early as well. I have things that I need to attend to. Let's look at the Game & Watch code card here, and talk about some things. And you'll notice that I'm putting on the macro lens immediately because we're very much going to need it. So we're going to get way down into there. And it's really funny how I think I've realized that my setup here with the macro things is actually way higher resolution than any scanners I own. Like so much higher resolution. It's crazy. Let me set ISO to something really high. Make the camera not wiggle as much. Okay. So this is the dot code on a card. And I think I even want to zoom in a little more here. How zoomed in can I be? Ooh, yeah, that's better. Okay. So that's actual e-reader dot code, okay? On a physical card. Now, I would like to point out this is color printing here, okay? So around here we can see the different I forget what the actual printing method is, but you can see the dots there as part of the color printing method, the bleed over in the different colors on there and all that stuff. But you'll notice the black isn't like that, because I believe the black is a masked screen printing process, not dot based. What this means is the actual dot code on here is able to be printed in extremely high resolution, and with very fine detail. Now, the actual pitch of the individual dots on here, oh man, it's so small. Uh, where's the pointer here? Okay, yeah. So if we look at these and we like think about this as like the points, individual dots on here as a DPI, it comes out to 342.29 DPI, which is a very weird number and not able to be reproduced directly by pretty much anything. So that kind of sucks because it means trying to print your own dot codes doesn't really work. But I've been testing this in a couple of different ways, because theoretically this is possible and there are some things you could do about it, but there are some big problems that I've been having, and I don't know if I own the hardware. That's one way to do DRM, yeah. It is actually possible to print these. I'll say that. It is possible. I have not succeeded in doing it, but it is possible. I think I just don't own a printer that's good enough. But let me demonstrate part of the problem here with three cards that I've made. Well, actually, let's start with the first card. So keep in mind, that is what an actual dot code card looks like. This is a 600 DPI printer. All right, 600 DPI Canon laser printer. Now, there are a lot of issues with the quality of the print here. Uh, this image, though, is scaled to be 13% wider, if I remember correctly. So it's actually set to be 300 DPI, double pixel scaled on the printer. But there's a problem in that all the dots are bleeding together. Now, I didn't notice this until I used my phone to like really zoom in, because these are ridiculously small. There's my finger, okay? My fingernail next to this dot code. It's insanely small, all right? Really, really small, to the point where I don't really care how good your vision is. You're not going to be able to see these. Um, they are 2.02K. I make a distinction there because Wikipedia says they're 2.2K, and that's wrong. It's less. Unless it's one of those dumb MB versus megabyte type things. But yeah. Anyway, it's 2020 bytes. So anyway, trying to print these dot codes has been running into issues for me. So I had an idea. What if the printer is overdoing the black level? So what I did is I tried raising the black level slightly, and you can see that's not bleeding anymore because the printer is no longer trying to make it super duper black. But there's another problem. If this is a black level of plus 70, and then I have a black level of plus 50, this is out of 255. But the problem is, and you can actually really see it in the alignment dots, is that the way that the printer adjusts the black level is by dithering. So it starts dithering this, which means it starts losing dots. Now, this is much better. This is much closer, but we're losing dots. So that part kind of sucks. Uh, now, one of the recommendations is to print on printer paper. This is what printer paper or photo paper. This is what photo paper looks like. It looks terrible because the ink disperses. Some of it's a little crisper, but yeah, it's not great. It's a driver setting. Is that the difference between normal and like draft or whatever? I was thinking we might try a draft mode, print today. But yeah, I have not been able to get a clear print. So I think I want to try messing around with different driver settings. That's why we have the printer here. I actually took it home to do. But I had another idea. I showed you the GBA cart. Yeah, let's put a lens back on that. Try photo paper. That was photo paper. I just showed you. That bleeds the worst. It gets all fuzzy and everything. Anyway, so this is blown out. There we go. This is a GBA flash cart. So you put ROMs of definitely homebrew on here, and that allows you to run any code you want on here. The thing is, you put this into the GBA, and then that's what you do with it. All right, so you're playing homebrew off of the GBA cartridge. But I had a realization this morning. All right, what if you could run homebrew alongside a GBA cartridge, an original GBA cartridge? Well, I was going to sarcastically say this morning that I dumped my e-reader ROM using a GBA flash cart and a GBA dump utility because I'm like, that probably exists. And then I realized, you know what? That probably, why is this not focusing? I'm going to remount the lens. There we go. But anyway, I was going to say, you know, I dumped it using a DS flash cart because, you know, yeah. But then I realized, you know what? I bet I actually could do that. If this went in there, I bet I could dump that ROM. But even more importantly, I bet I could modify the save game on the cartridge to use the exact same save file that we loaded over here into the emulator, and then we could bypass needing to scan codes to run this on original hardware. So, as a temporary solution to not being able to print codes, which we could probably solve with enough time, and maybe that'll be what we come back to Sunday, we could just put the save file directly on here and load it. So today I think I want to try and dump the ROM on here and then also inject save files into it. Fun little story here. That's not the only Game Boy. Nintendo DS I own. Kind of want to. I've talked about Dreamcast. I've had a rule where if I could buy a Dreamcast at Goodwill for like less than $20, I would. I kind of had a rule like that for DSs as well. So I forget what my limit was for DSs, but it was both less than $10 and less than $30 at different points. But I think this one, I had a bit of maybe it wasn't that one. It was this one. I gave a little exception to for the price because it came with an R4 card from Goodwill. So that was funny. But yeah, so I have that here. This one I know is all set up and ready to go. It has a 2 gig micro SD card. So we're probably going to use this one because I have stuff already on this one and I kind of don't want to mess with it. It's been a little while since I've used any of these. I grabbed a charger, try and fire one of these up. Oh yeah, that's right. The original ones here use the SP chargers. Let me just, that's a micro charger. That's an SP charger. It's been a while since I fired that thing up, and I know you guys will like my theme that's on there, so I kind of want to do that. So let's see. Be an extreme amount of effort. Wonder if you could print the dot code as a negative on a transparency, use photo enlarger to shrink it. Yeah, something like that would probably work. But at that point, I think I would just try and get it printed by like a film producer place type thing that does that kind of stuff.
Tier 1 and says hello. End of line.
Green Source, thank you for the tier 1 sub. And for 24, that's wait a minute. 8, 16, 24. 24 point. 24. I'm not, no, you're not a loser. No, 20. Wait, that's even worse. I don't, 2 fingers. There we go. Like that. 24 months. Thank you. Anyway, let's see. Does this work? I think the battery might be like super duper dead. Will these work without a battery in them? Because I would kind of like to remove the battery. It's trying. I guess the power supply can't actually provide enough power to run it. So that's cool. I'll let that charge for a second, and I would say I should probably start charging a second one, but I don't think I have a second power supply here. So that's an issue. I wonder if the SPs can run without a battery in them. Are you using the .code printing app to print those? So let me cover that. If any of you are aware of how this stuff works, I want to talk about some things. So the .code printing app is dumb. Don't bother with it, okay? The only thing it does is generate bitmaps and send them to a printer or change the DPI, but all that does is pixel double. So once you have the raw .code strip, you can do your own things with it. And if you math it up a little bit, you can come up with some better ways of printing some things. So one of the reasons why I won't use that application is this printer is weird. It is a 1200 DPI printer horizontally, 600 DPI vertically. So I doubt that application would properly work with this printer because a weird different axes DPI is kind of strange. So I'm doing my own thing anyway. But yeah, I would not recommend using that. I would recommend you learn how to do your DPI scalings and adjustments. Fun fact, if you have a 1200 DPI printer, you can scale your code by 350% from the 1 bit per pixel of the actual barcode strip itself, and then print it at 1200 DPI, and it will be off by 0.27% from the original size, if I remember correctly. And the only axes that matters, so what you could do is you could actually do 350% scaling vertically, the width of the strip, and then 400% scaling for the length of the strip, and that should work. But I think there's other issues with the ink bleeding and stuff. But you could do that and then have it work very close to a multiple of what the printer can do. But yeah, so there's lots of weird little things to it that need to be taken into account. Okay, will this turn on now? Yes, there we go. Okay, man, it's been a while since I've heard that. All right, DS. And there is no DS card inserted. That's not a good sign. Can't reread them live. Ruh-roh. What if I put in a real one? Uh-oh. That's not good. I wonder if it's a power thing. Okay, it read it that time. Let's try this one again. Well, that's not good. What about this R4 card? I'm going to let this thing keep charging in the background while we're doing stuff. That one didn't work either. What? Huh. Okay, I have one more. Towards the end of the DS run, they made the DSi XL, and oh my, is this a wonderful piece of hardware. But I had to get a new card to make it work with it. To be clear, okay, I own pretty much every DS game I actually want, but you know what's nice he's not having to carry them all. So here's a card. Let's see if this one works. Oh, that one doesn't have a micro SD card in it. Oh, well, we'll just see if it gets recognized. Well, this is a DS2 card, so it's a little more robust. That one's not showing up either. Did my DS get a firmware update while it was sitting in a box without power, and now it doesn't work with any of these? It realized your streaming doesn't want to work due to be camera shy, yeah. Yeah, Digital Ice Age. Number one recommendation is to go back in time and tell yourself to never get rid of anything. Oh, I should remove my CPL. Now the LCDs won't look terrible. There we go. Please work. Oh, come on. Will one of these other ones maybe work? I mean, the batteries won't be charged. That's an issue. I don't know why I bought this one. It's in really, really, really terrible shape. Whoa, what's going on with the screen? I don't like that. Is that the weird LCD cancer on a color panel? I've not seen that before. Yeah, I don't like that. It's happening all over on this one. There. Two more up there. One more there. That sucks. Oh. Great. Cool. We get to watch all the DSs die now, I guess. Great. It's not going to be just Game Boy Pockets. Well, that's fun. This was not a precious one to begin with. It's in extraordinarily rough shape. I feel like I should just move the battery from the red one since I've already been charging it. Never get rid of anything like a Virtual Boy stand? Yeah. Yeah, no. Well, What was I gonna do here? Yeah, I'm gonna let the red one charge some more. I know this one works. Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't used it in who knows how long. Mostly because I switched to that. Unfortunately, one of the things Nintendo did was eliminate the GBA slot on the DSIs. So I can't use this one for that. But one thing they did do was add an SD card slot. So if you're really lazy and don't want to buy one of these, I think you can just soft mod one of these somehow through probably WebKit hacks again. But yeah, I've just used that. For running homebrews and backups. Yeah, that's it. Backups. Forgot all the games that are in here. It's kind of been a while. Do I own 2 Rumble packs? I do. Yeah, this is the thing. Some people don't know this. The Nintendo DS supported a Rumble pack. And you have no idea how mad I was that the DSi did not have Rumble built in and you can't put it in there. So annoying. For the 3 games that actually supported it. But anyway. You have that purple GBA cart with Boba Fett on it. Let's see. What should we do next here? So I guess while that charges to hopefully actually work with the card, here's my suspicion. These cards use way more power, and this thing's barely running, so that it probably needs to charge a little more to actually bring these to life. So we'll just give it a second. So let me, what do we want to do here? Use professionally developed DS games. Oh, and use flashcards like R4 sometimes. That's great. It's hilarious how how those kinds of things can genuinely be beneficial to that. That is hilarious. I love that. Is this what I used? That is part of it, Yin, but nothing from nothing from that page is actually part of what I'm using. But that's the history of it. I can go over this a little bit more while we're waiting for that DS to charge. So, keyboard, wake up, keyboard. This is a problem with Bluetooth. It just like every now and then it has to take a nap. Come on, wake up. Come on. There we go. Okay. So I have a GitHub repo for this, and I put all of the documentation. Why are we so early? Because I'm ending early. Um, I put all the documentation from things that I've been working on in here. I've spent more time on actually documenting the development process than I have actually been doing development. Um, so let me go through this. There are 3 ways that you can actually think about this development, okay? So there is standard GBA development. There is e-reader conversion tools. And then there are, what is this last one? I actually can't, oh, how about I look at this? GBA dev tools. So GBA coding can really be done, I don't know, I don't spell well, whatever. GBA development can be done as raw ARM assembly. So you can think about it that way. And this is one of the reasons why I'm kind of really liking this. I've mentioned this before. My background is in embedded systems engineering, and the GBA is an ARM processor with a screen and some sprite hardware. So that's kind of awesome to me. So I have a little bit of a soft spot for that kind of thing. Um, but there are better like generic tools that you can use to help make game development a little bit better. But the e-reader is a special case because of how the cards have to hold the data. So it's actually skip past DevKit Pro for the Game Boy. So essentially here, this is how you install the modified version of GCC to compile binaries that'll actually run on the processor for the Game Boy. That's you can consider that to be what this does. Going down here, though, these are the main parts of this process for making something work on the e-reader. So step 1 is you compress the actual binary. Game Boy, the cartridges themselves act as ROM storage to read data from the cartridge at will, depending on what you're playing. So it'll load the next level off of there. It'll load music, it'll load sound effects directly off of the cartridge, which means it's not really performant to have that data be compressed. Even though you could potentially want to fit more on there, it's actually just better to put a bigger flash chip in here or whatever it is, and hold that data uncompressed. Cards, you're not reading data from live. So it makes sense to compress the data, put it into temporary storage on the hardware, and then uncompress it there to run it. So the first thing you do is you compress the data using a VPK compression algorithm. Fun fact, go ahead and search for GBA VPK anything. It's useless because of this PlayStation Vita apparently using VPK as the extension for executables. So all you get are GBA emulators for the Vita. Uh, back in the day, being able to develop on GBA so easily was awesome. Before everyone had
David
smartphones and
Benson
apps for
up as
commonplace.
tier 1
Yeah.
and says, wow, you're expletive early today. What's been going on? End of line.
David, thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 24 months. I've learned that I have to hold this in a very particular way or else I call you a loser. But like this, yes. Thank you for the 24 months there, David. That is right. 16, 8, yes, 24. Okay, I'm going to be like really, yeah. Um, what was I? Oh, I was reading chat here. Maybe a super stupid question for me, but have you tried to create that dot code as an SVG and print it that way? So all printers handle vector data much better than bitmap data. No, I have not. That would probably be a huge pain in the butt. I could potentially do that at some point. I heard the deck talk, David. Yeah, okay. Think he gets it rasterized by the time it gets to the printer buffer? Yeah, it would be rasterized anyway. I'm using GIMP to set up the image and control the DPI directly, which is working very well. I can demonstrate that probably Sunday. But yeah, am I have so far not cried on stream, so that's good. Be plotting with an HP. Let's see. GBA cards are direct part of the have a direct part of the memory map. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, let me get back to this. So the cards are compressed, which means that you have to be able to compress the actual data. So NE VPK, which stands for Nintendo e-reader, just everything is NE for Nintendo e-reader. VPK is compression. Then there is NE .code make. So this actually generates not the .code strip, but it generates the data that goes into the .code. So that's what that does. So this is just raw data. And fun fact, it's actually Nyquist. Is that the right? Reed Solomon. No, it's Reed Solomon. Protected like CDs are. So the data has redundancy built into it in that way. So, yeah. So there's that. But yeah. Where am I at? So yeah, I don't know if this actually does the Reed Solomon encoding in that stage or if it's in this stage. But what this stage does is it converts the compressed .code data into raw data for individual strips. You can probably find archives of official cards in this format that you can load into emulators, which works better than bitmaps. But the next stage is what we need to actually print these, which this allows you to convert the raw data packets for the strips into bitmaps, which you can also load into emulators. So that kind of works out better. But to give you an idea of the origin of these tools, there is a GitHub repository here that contains the source code from all of these from a long time ago. So yeah, well, that's irrelevant. This is all license nonsense. But the actual executables go way back. And this is part of the problem with this. I have an issue open on this repository because I would like to find better documentation, but I don't think it actually exists. And this webpage on archive.org, because it's no longer hosted because this was 2 decades ago, is where most of this development originated. And Tim here is the one who actually reverse engineered the Reed Solomon encoding for the .codes. So there are some examples on here, and there are some development tools hosted somewhere on here that I don't remember how to get to. But yeah, a lot of the development programs were initially done on there. But this repository is old, and someone modified the executables or the code so that it can compile on modern Linux. So I'm actually using full Linux executables with one exception that I'm very annoyed by. I have to run the Windows version of the save file generator here. There is a Linux binary, but it's 32-bit, and the source is not available, so I cannot recompile it. So close. So close. But yeah, I can't get this one to run, so I actually run this through Wine. But everything else is actual native Linux native stuff. So yeah. Let me catch up here. Anyone else having the Twitch stream keep buffering? I don't know. So, and I do appreciate that Digital Ice Age. I just, yeah. Let's see. Some Canon printers use Apple PostScript drivers, print actual shapes. Ooh, interesting. I have access to Canon printers at home. Yes, Helen Croft, early start, early end. We are only running for 1 more hour. So, Thinking if he's limited by printing on inkjet. So I actually don't have an inkjet that is high enough resolution. Uh, I've been trying to think about this, okay? I really been trying to think about this. The only inkjet printer I own is the ThinkJet. That's it. That's it. I may actually own an Apple one that's slightly later, but I'm not 100% sure how that works. But yeah, that's ThinkJet. That's it. I doubt that's 600 or 1200 DPI, which is what would be required to do this, I suspect. But yeah. So anyway, that's all the background stuff for these things. So yeah, wow, we have like no viewers. It's really early on Friday, and everyone's probably at work. So yeah, time to buy a printing press. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's how you get to this. Um, yeah. Let's see. What are we waiting for? Oh, yeah, for the DS to charge and hopefully actually like fire up. Let's see if it will now. Please read the card. Nope, still no card. Really? Could it be one of those dumb things where I need to like I don't remember how this works. So I have to put in like a legit card and boot it and then swap out the card and try and run it. There. Hey DS, I want to play Brain Age. Yeah, for sure. So I've been struggling to get the dot codes to work on actual hardware. For those of you who weren't here earlier in the stream, because I started ridiculously super early, I printed out a bunch of dot codes. The DPI is really easy to solve. That part's not an issue. The actual size constraints of the optical camera in here are not very tight. Well, for one, the length of the strip doesn't matter because if you slide it slower, then it's longer in effect. And if you slide it faster, then it's shorter. So the length doesn't matter. The height of the code is actually somewhat flexible. And I can demonstrate why it's flexible. So I put batteries in here. Yeah. Um, I want you to see how clever this thing really is. All right, so there's Brain Age, by the way. And I'm gonna pop that out. Oh, just hard lock the system. Okay, well that won't work. I want you to check out how clever this thing is. All right, so we're gonna scan this card. Okay, and for the record, when you fail a scan, it says read error here. All right, so you can see that. All right, so one of the things I can do here is as I'm scanning, I can wiggle the card up and down. Okay. That was probably too slow. It got it. It got it though. While I was wiggling the card up and down. All right. Uh, so I'll do the same again for the other side. It's extremely robust. So that means the sensor is wider than it needs to be for just the strip position, and it's able to process the data and reposition it as probably a recording, like bitmap data, rather than like raw, like reflective red laser, whatever nonsense. So it can do a lot more than just interpret the barcode as raw data. That's crazy robust. Yeah, isn't it? It's ridiculous. So the thing about that is that your codes don't have to be perfect, and they can be slightly taller because it'll just reinterpret the data. But I cannot, for the life of me, print a code that is valid because of what I showed earlier, that the printer is smearing the ink dots together and it will never work. No matter what. So I can't print codes because of that. WinVGA mod for Game Boys. I think that's definitely a thing where people, the consolizer, you take this thing apart and wreck it. You know, I would complain about that, but genuinely, I didn't remember how terrible this screen is. It's really bad. It's easy to see here at home. No, because I don't have like 400 watts of lights on at home. use thermal printer. I don't have a printer that's high enough resolution other than this one laser printer. So, let's see. Kids aren't best known for the careful movements. This is very good design. It is, really, yeah. Let's see. Some early homebrew relied on booting an adapter and a regular DS card before switching execution to GBA slide. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Modern cards like R4 should always work on basic DS Lite. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. I feel like all my cards here didn't die, so I'm not sure what's going on. I'm guessing it's the power thing. See, an IPS mod is probably pretty good. Yeah, so generally what the mod is to do is to hack the screen out of one of these. This is an AGS 101 DS or Game Boy. So if I plug power into this, it may turn on. Let's find out. No. Oh, that really, really sucks. Oh, that's awful. Seriously? You have to have a battery in these? Ugh. Gross. I took out all my batteries because I don't want them to, die. Fine. I'll put one in just to temporarily show you the difference. Use GameCube GBA adapter. I think it might actually be cheaper to buy a modded one than buy one of those. Those have skyrocketed so much in value. So that way better screen. The reason that this is so much better, I believe these are front lit transflective displays. This is a proper backlit display. That's the difference, because you can see a DS or an original DS, and this is how the earlier GBAs work as well, the earlier SPs. If I had a light on me, I guess I have my phone. You can see this screen easily in bright light. That's the major benefit to transflective displays. They don't get washed out. Unlike this, which has a really hard time with it. The colors get distorted and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, now let's take the battery out. That really is very annoying. You must have a battery in there. You gonna read it now? Oh my gosh, this is gonna drive me nuts. Why is it not working? What part of this is bad? See, AGS 101 is best SP? Yeah. They're pretty expensive. Okay, I've been out of the game for a really long time, so I genuinely don't know. I know there are modded versions of this that have that screen in it, but I haven't looked at any of this stuff in forever. So. Let's see. Can you still get replacement batteries for GBA or DS? I suspect that China will be producing them for a very long time. Let's see. Oh, it worked! Yes! All right, we're in. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna restart this so that you guys can all appreciate this, okay? So, if I remember correctly, this is my own custom theme. I actually made this theme. Okay. Oh, I got that mic on so long. Okay, so yeah, I made. And I believe I also have one. I don't know how you change. It's been a while. How do you change settings? Um, how do I get to that stuff? Is it bumpers. It's been so long. How do I? Oh man, I love this. Convert shell uses Windows. There's another one on here. I just got to remember how to do it. It may have been. It might be the DS2 card. Let me try that. I can get this one to work again in the future, I suspect. I think it's just the contacts being dirty, so let me just... maybe it's this one? I loved themed hardware at this time. Drat. I made my own Rockbox themes, made my own DS themes. It was a wonderful time. It's the only console of your childhood you still own. It's a good one to own. Okay, how do I get to... Do I just go over? Do I go all the way down? Triggers? Triggers feel so bad on this. How do I go over to the settings? Well, that's nice. There's different view modes. Oh, I can hide or show that, back. Suspect start isn't? No. Select. There's got to be like a settings for the card. I don't know how to do it. Reprogram the firmware to allow direct execution of DS software from GBA slot without needing an adapter. Yeah, I'd read about that. I had never actually tried that. That seems really cool. Oh, let's just play Doom. Oh, I forgot how good this port is. You have a map. Are some of my buttons not working? Is that the problem? Oh, okay. Select as enter. No music? Lame. Wow, this runs terribly. There must be better ports than this by now. This is awful. Anyway, how do you, there's a way of going back. I don't remember what it is. It's been a long time. I'll just restart it. Yeah, so I think my DS2 card might actually work on the 3DS. It's been a while since I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. You know, I may have to do the settings on a PC. All the buttons were working in Doom, so at least that's confirmed. LR start select. Yeah, that didn't work. Oh, that's interesting. You can hold another button to do things. Yeah, select doesn't do anything there. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna pop the card out. Because here's the okay, we're not just like here to like, hey, look, it's homebrew hardware, quote unquote. From the early 2000s, I actually want to get a GBA cartridge controller program on here, but also I want to try and get my other theme active. I have another good theme I made. I don't remember how to utilize it. There are 54 megabytes free on that card because I always absolutely maxed it out. Oh gosh. Let's see. Shell. Plug in. No. First I want to see if it's even on here. Skin. Let's see. Oh, I don't think my other skin is on this one. Drat. Okay, maybe I didn't make this Windows 2000 skin. I don't know. I think I. Okay, what I was looking for, I think I made a Windows XP one. I swear I made a skin for this thing. It must have been the XP one. Let's see, would it be possible to lower the brightness or something? A lot of glare, hard to see. Well, we'll get back to that in a little bit. Um, yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's. I need a second because I gotta go find something slightly sketchy. What we're gonna grab here is a homebrew tool that allows you to dump GBA cartridges using your DS because you can NDS GBA dump because you can read cartridges from the GBA slot while executing code from the DS slot. So that's completely feasible, but I think I can upload save data to the cartridge as well utilizing that. So I want to see if that's possible. So I'm going to try and find the GBA backup homebrew program. Cart. So all right, GBA backup tool. I think that's what I want. NDS GBA. My mouse is driving me crazy right now. It is misclicking and releasing all the time. Come across the GB operator. I don't know what that is. You can certainly get most saved, but I don't think it works for EEPROM based saves. Well, we'll find out. Plug and play. Oh yeah, I'm familiar. There's a couple of things like that. There's a cheaper one on Etsy, Majenko. The thing is, I don't own one of those, but I do own this. So that's what we're gonna mess with here. Okay. Looking at this, all right. If you're trying to use cartridge for, I assume Gen 3 is Pokemon, because that's how Pokemon people talk about that. Use some sort of DS flash cart. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Transfer GBA cartridge saves to PC. Perfect. I want to do the opposite. Okay. So insert GBA game into DS. Make sure both games correctly recognized in the home menu. May need to reinsert GBA cartridge. Okay. Then we start flash card GBA backup tool. Perfect. This is exactly what I want. Okay. New save, change, new save file, create. Well, we'll find out if we can go the opposite direction. Let's see. Should we be able to if the program does similar things? Joey Jr. I don't know. See, last time I had a mouse do that, threw it against the wall by first razor. This is a $100 Logitech MX Master 3S. It gets to live. Okay. If one doesn't work for you, also there's a clone fake repo cart. Neither. Well, we're gonna try this one. Oh, I totally wasn't downloading Citra. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Grab this. All right. Go back over to here. I need to clear some space. So, temp. I'm going to move a couple of things over here. Let's see. Just move. No, double click because it misregistered. Move. No, stop double clicking. Move. Okay. GBA can use SRAM, EEPROM, Flash, and FRAM saves. Man, that's complicated. Okay, well we'll keep this simple to start. Okay, I already have a card saved on my e-reader. We'll see if we can pull that save to start. Okay, so we'll try and keep this simple. Hopefully the e-reader works with the DS. By the way, I don't actually know. I don't know if they have like things blacklisted to just not show up at all, or however that works. Thanks Twitch for not notifying you. Yeah, it's a weird one. Twitch sucks, but yeah, that definitely. Okay, so we have this. I'm gonna guess I want these, but I'm just gonna put this here in a folder because we can navigate folders. I don't know what this thing is. I don't like that. I'm going to regret opening this on stream. Okay. That's... sure. Okay. Yeah. Wait, I wonder, does this one allow you to dump ROMs too? I don't actually know. Huh. E-reader may not because it needs the GBA link for connection. I'm not sure about that. I've heard that it's literally a straight up pass-through cable just because it obstructed the port on the console. So I'm not sure if it actually needs the link connection. But we'll find out. All right. That's on there. I'm going to eject that. Safely remove. Okay. Pulling out the card. Putting it back in the white one because that's the one that's working. Okay. Pop that in there. And let's see if the e-reader works here. You know what? Oh, it goes this way. Uh-oh. That's a problem. All right, let's open the e-reader, maybe, and see if we can remove the port, because it physically will not fit. I was afraid this would happen. I don't really care, because what is it, Animal Crossing this works with? I have no idea. Okay. Link ports there, yeah, scan cards with consoles. Yeah, I literally think it's a cable that goes from here to there, and there is no hardware interaction. Okay, so we need a tri-lobe. Hopefully this has it. Yeah, it has a couple. Perfect. Golden. Okay. Where'd that screwdriver go? I think I just chucked it over here. There it is. Okay. Works with Pokemon games too. Oh yeah, that makes sense because I have some Pokemon cards. Like literally, these are the only Pokemon cards I own. Also, okay, does anyone have any idea what this thing is? This actual binder, okay? I've kept my e-reader cards in here forever, but I have no idea what this thing actually is because I have no idea what card-based non-GBA, because that's Game Boy, not Game Boy Advance. I have no idea what this would actually be for. It's weird. It's perfect for this, but I have no idea what would actually go in there. Okay, let's get this open, see if we can remove the cable.
Lanes gave a tier 1 gift sub to MASE 34. End of line. Lanes gave a tier 1 gift sub to ST0RMCRASH. End of line. Lanes gave a tier 1 gift sub to AG3N. End of line. Lanes gave a tier 1 gift sub to Wizardu. End of line. Lanes gave a tier 1 gift sub to Polly McBird. End of line.
Lanes, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I really appreciate that. Let's see. I have no idea. Do you know the e-readers? How you got things like that into... Yeah. Let's see. Maybe Nintendo collector cards or something like that? Maybe? Allegedly game carts, but that makes no sense. Yeah, I don't know what that would be. Pokemon trading card game with e-reader, but it like predates the e-reader. That's the thing. Okay, so here we have that. Oh, there's a camera. Oh, whoa. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. It's like literally, that's crazy. It's actually adjust a camera, okay, like a window. It's not even up against it. So yeah, no wonder. That was a weird hiccup. I don't know what happened. But anyway, yeah, so there's the camera. So that's weird. All right. Oh, capacitors. Cool. I love that. All right. So we just need to pull this off very carefully with the module for the camera cable. Yeah, that's it. Okay, we just need to undo those 2 screws. That's all. Oh, and then re-secure those after. All right. Oh, they're tri-lobe on the outside and then Phillips on the inside. Thanks. Cap should be Japanese. No wonder it'll read at different heights. Yeah, but that's a very clever and interesting way of doing that. Since I have absolutely no use case for this port, I'm just gonna not try to maintain it being. Oh, I don't know if I can take that out without removing the camera. That kind of sucks. Okay, I have to remove the camera module to get that out. So this just got a lot more fun. I mean, do we need the camera connected to dump it? Could I just plug this in? Rip Cartier? Maybe. We'll find out. I think I found it. Need them in hand to verify, but it looks like old game manuals for the Game Boy. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yoink. Yeah, this is just straight up a camera module. That's hilarious. All right. Now, slide that out. Okay. And that's all I needed to do was just get that out. I'm not going to remove it because I want it to stay in the hardware in case I want it back. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll actually care about Pokemon. So let's just put this back in there. I'm wondering if maybe I should clean the window while I have access to it. On the other hand, it's probably never needed cleaned, so maybe I shouldn't mess with it. I do see a thing. I don't know if that's out of curiosity. What does that look like? Oh, that is very, very clear. Yeah. You can definitely see that's crazy. That's wild. Thread says it stores GBA games. Yes, it does. Hold on. Let's see. Just straight pass through, no interaction with the PCB at all. Correct. It's literally just a wire. Like I could just pull this whole thing out. That doesn't do anything. All I'm going to do, well, for one, I'm going to put the screws back in, and I'm going to just point it down, maybe. I'm hoping I can keep it in there in somewhere that doesn't interfere with any. I may have to remove it, actually. Let me go off to the side, upside down. I would like to not have to completely remove it from the hardware, but I think I have to. Okay, yoink. So there it is. Yeah, that's the cable. We'll just remove it. All right, there was a screw here, and now there isn't, so that's cool. How many screws? There were 6.
Follow up as tier 2 and says end of line.
Follow X, thank you for the tier 2 sub and for 24 months there. That's a point. That's a 16 and an 8, not a L. Let's see. Let's see. Game Boy Game Pack manuals. Catching up on chat here. All right. Pokemon Go still a thing? I'm pretty sure the servers are still live. And Niantic is still conning. Oh, that one's not a Philips. Is this a Philips? That's not a Philips. Is this a Philips? That's a Philips. Okay, that's the other camera module screw. Okay. Okay. I'm going to put these back in here.
OMSX, a toll sub as tier 1 and says thanks for my sub gift. End of line.
Helen Croft slash thank you for the tier 1 sub and for 16 plus 4, 20 months there. Wait, no, that one's 2. 16 plus 4, 20 months. There we go. That does not look right. 20 is a rough one. Okay, now the camera gets reconnected because I like cameras. Okay, camera. Oh gosh. That. Okay, there's that. Yoink. Yoink. Okay, that's good to go. Just like that. All right. Now, can I sneak the cable in here anywhere? Like, again, would really like to have the camera plugged in. Whoops. Cable is curved so much because it's been like that for 2 decades. This is a little difficult. Okay, I think I got it that time. Yeah, that time's good. Okay. All right. I know where the camera needs to be able to see. Can I hide it somewhere else? So I put this back here. I don't think I can just point this down right there. Could I have this poke down? This is loose, sort of. If I free all of those, then I can... Okay, that's a thing. I could screw this back down there. Okay. Ooh, I think I can keep it all in there. Hold on. I can put this bracket back into place. I'm gonna move this. Oh yes, the ground pins. Good point, Helen Croft. Good point. For a good catch. All right, and the cable back in. So that side over there, ferrite bead in there, and then get the ferrite bead in there. I said, okay, this can bunch up right there, and I'm gonna have to put some Kapton over that so I feel safe about it. But I think I can make this work. My foot went asleep while I was sitting cross-legged on the stool. That was a bad idea. Okay, there's the big Kapton. And scissors. Don't stand on the foot that's asleep. Scissors. Where are the scissors at? I used them on the last stream we did. There they are. Okay. All right. Thinking about this, probably boot, but be unable to do anything on the DS. Probably. We'll find out. I'm just hoping it works, because it'll be real nice. Oh my my scissors suck. There we go. I'm just gonna apply this here. All right, come on. You know you want to cooperate. So I think I'm going to curl this the other direction. Ooh, that's... If I do it like that. I'm on to something. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to push that down there. And then I need to use tweezers or something to guide this cable out of the way of the screw hole. And boom. Okay. That'll work. It's not in the way of the camera. And it's contained. Perfect. Okay. I didn't put the clips back in for the grounding pads. Hold on. I think I can just sneak them in there. There we go. Oh, that's going to be perfect. Okay. I don't need anything else, so I can just do this. Oh, it's actually kind of, yeah, that's okay. I'm happy with that. It's just missing there, but it's not gone, and that one's still there. Perfect. All right, let's go back to the trilobe, and there we go. I will literally never need that. Yeah. Never need the reverses mod? I can, yes. And the other benefit is that all of the parts are self-contained, so I don't have to remember where anything is. It's all just in it. That's the other benefit. That's why I was trying so hard to get that cable bent in there. First, we'll test to make sure that it can still read cards. Just because, you know, that would suck if I broke it. Oh, that's weird to not have that there, but that's nice too. Okay. All right. Can it read a card? Scan card. Golden. Okay, perfect. So for the record here, I have save data on here. That is pinball already loaded. This is NES pinball. So that's what we're going to try and copy off of this. Now that we can plug it into a DS. Let me get all the screws in first, though. One of my favorite reversible mods I've done is I have an Atari 2600 Heavy Sixer that I put a wall plate, like a panel mount Type F jack into the place of the original outlet for the RCA type cable for the video out. So you can just connect a regular Type F cable to the Atari 2600 to connect it to a television. You don't need the weird, stupid cable, and it's not ridiculously long. And then I just rolled up the cable and stuck it back into the 2600 because the 2600 itself is like proportionally, like say this big, but the PCB is like that big in there. There's tons of space in the 2600. It's ridiculous. All right. I'm gonna pull my homebrew card just for giggles to see if we can run the e-reader. Start GBA game. Oh, this is going to be hilarious. Oh, it's totally going to work. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. It was too fast, I know. Boom. Dot code on DS. Oh. Taking the batteries out of this thing right now. Because insert Andy meme. I'm done playing with you now. Okay. I got a backlit screen. Ooh, I could put it in this too. All right. We'll turn this off, put in the homebrew card, and let's see what we can do. All right, we're booting Windows 2000 on my DS. What an unwieldy thing. What are you talking about? The 2000s era of peripherals was amazing. By the way, this is a case mod DS. This one started out silver like this. Um, and yeah, this one, that's a aftermarket case. In the period, these were like $15 then. Now it'd probably be like $150 to change the color of the case because case modding stuff is dumb now. All right, GBA backup. Boom. All right. GBA backup tool, please set a target card to slot 2. What does that mean? Oh, I don't know. All right. Okay. ROM information, card reader. Well, this is weird here. But less awful than GBA's awful unbacklit screen. Yeah, so this one's not the ideal one, but yeah. Let's see. So ROM size 8 megs. That's pretty big. Slot 2 is GBA. Okay. Just ask the guy at the store to unlock the spray case modder for $5. Oh gosh. Okay. Change ROM, change command mode. I don't know. There's nothing up here that's useful. So, A again? What do I do? Oh, A, specified save file is up. Oh, okay. I think that line there looks like I can inject a save file. Ooh, that would be awesome. Okay, B is new save file create. Save file, blah, 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 file name made by, yes, run. We're backing up the save. Okay. And, ooh, okay. I think we can reload a save onto. Oh my gosh, this is about to be awesome. Oh, I'm excited. I am super excited here. Okay, I think we're done. I'm going to shut this off. And I'm going to pull the card. And I'm going to go load this on PC. Okay. And if this works the way I believe it will work, I can go to here, save game, load temporary save game. Regret that I haven't copied the file. Boom. Okay. We're going to just put that in here. Okay. E-reader dev stuff. Okay. Go up. Save. Okay. If this works with pinball, then this is it. Yes! Oh, yes. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Moment of truth. Can I inject my own save game back into this? We're gonna steal this name. I'm gonna delete this file. I'm gonna copy this over there, and I'm gonna rename it to that. If this works, I am about to have custom code running on the GBA through official hardware through kind of sketchy means, but it proves the point. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Ooh. Oh, I'm excited. This should work. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Safely remove. All right. All right. Back to here. This is like the dumbest possible way of getting homebrew onto this thing, but you know. Whatever. Okay, here we go. Starting the DS. Shouldn't have taken the batteries out of the GBA. No find SD card. Okay, fine, fine. The saves were the same size, yes. Okay, booting Windows 2000 again. Perfect. All right. GBA backup. No, I need to go to the other directory. This one. Run the tool. And this UI is really laggy. There we go. All right. Target. And it's reading it. Okay. Specified save file is updated. Okay. Replace the file with the file name. Replace with the file of this file name. Yes, run. All right, we're writing the save to the e-reader, and that's it. So, I'm turning this off. I'm pulling the DS card because it auto boots past the system. We're booting the DS, and we're going to run the GBA cart. Pinball. That did not work. Okay. Why did it not write it? Is it possible I didn't actually replace the file? You know what? Let's try this differently. I will not rename the file as I put it on the SD card this time. That way we know that it's actually different and that the file copy worked and all that fun stuff. Or maybe I'll name it 01 or something in case it matches by file name. Okay, backup. All right, so I'm going to copy main.save. Okay, I'm going to copy this here, 01. Okay, so it has to be the 01 file. Sync, because I trust nothing. Safely remove. Okay, that should be it. All right, pulling the card. Back into here. Back into here. And here we go. Feature GBA, you can swap games by pressing select and start. Huh. Okay. GBA backup. Or run the tool again. Okay. This is like a weird dual screen tool, so I'm just going to zoom it out for now. It's going to be illegible mostly, but yeah. Okay. All right. So, okay. We got the card reader, the thing. Okay. Specified save file. Okay. This file's made by. No. Okay. Oh, I select them up here. Okay, so we're going to select 01. All right. And replace with the file of this name. Hold on, no. Save file is updated. Hi. Okay, my home internet was having a moment there, so I think I know what's going on. I think the A option down here overwrites the save file. I don't think it writes it back to the cartridge. So I think that's what that does. I think this is a read-only program. So that's my guess. So I think we need a different program. Unless there's like a different, I don't know why it turned off. Maybe there's one of the buttons over here just binds to turn it off. So I think that's what it means. No, B creates a new save file. So I think A overwrites the save file. B creates a new one. We can test that by changing the data that's on here, actually. So let's do this. Turn this off. I'm going to pull the card. All right. We're going to actually save a new game onto here, okay? We're going to try. I don't remember how, but we're going to try. This is going to suck because we have to scan so many cards. We're going to put Donkey Kong Jr. on there, okay? So be ready to scan a bajillion e-reader cards. Oh, what did X say? I didn't pay attention. But we're gonna change this. So we're gonna put Donkey Kong on the e-reader, and that'll give us a new state to work with. So scan card. Oh, this is nice. We can have it all flush. All right. Oh no, that's right. It's 2 per card. Ugh. X was change ROM. Well, we'll try that in a moment. The full game is stored on the cards, yes. So it's going to just tap your phone for that. Okay. Yes, okay. So, to give you background knowledge, I believe there is a flag in the games that allows you to prompt to save like this. So I have not set that on mine, but we're gonna go ahead and do this. Have you even thought about doing this kind of things? Having an HP calculator? Hitting R may put it into right command mode. Ooh, I'll look at that. Okay. Donkey Kong, or Pinball's been erased, Donkey Kong Jr. has been saved. Well, Donkey Kong Jr. is a way better game anyway. Aw, yeah. This is just a good game. Oh yeah, this is. Oh, faster if we go up 2. Get out of here, red guy. Oh, oh, oh. I can't remember. Oh, well, okay. um, okay, let's restart really quick. Hold on. My timer is up. This is the last thing we can test, okay? We are out of time for this stream because I really must actually leave. But we're going to see if we can go into right mode with R. Okay. Okay. R. Okay, hold on. So select, okay. R. Oh, flash restore. You're right. Oh my gosh. Oh. Here we go. Okay. Save 1. And we're going to restore. Save ROM is initialized. Restore data in card from save file. And we're going to restore 1. Oh, this. Ooh. Okay, here we go. A1. This file. Okay, run. Save restore. Okay, we may have just done it. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna press start on here because I think that turned it off last time. No, weird. Okay, maybe I just bumped the power button. I don't know. All right, this may run my custom game. Here we go. It's on there. Yes. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I'm running it on real hardware. That's insane. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that is awesome. Oh, that rocks. Okay, we have to do it on the actual Game Boy. I have to see it. Wow, this is so much quieter than the DS. Yep, there we go. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's ridiculous. All right, the most complicated way to do GBA homebrew. Oh, that rocks. That rocks so much. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so happy. Oh, man. All right, well, that was a complete success. That was the only thing I wanted to do today, was get this on there through the save data. Oh, man, that's awesome. All legit hardware. Yes, this is 100% legit hardware. If my custom codes that I had printed had actually worked, that would be effectively what this is. But I don't have a printer that I think I can do this with. Sunday, we'll try getting the printer to actually work. We'll mess with settings with drivers and things like that, but this proves the code will work on the actual hardware. Yes. Okay. Oh, that's so cool to see. It was very much a triumph. Okay. But we're going to have to end it here, though, so I'm going to run the outro now. Oh, that was awesome. That is so cool. I'm very, very excited about that. That is ridiculous. Oh, I'm so glad I had that idea to use the DS as an intermediary step this morning. Oh, yeah. That is it for today, yes. Was the regular short stream for Friday, just 2 hours early. Sorry to everyone who's going to see this VOD too late. At the beginning of the VOD, you'll understand why. But yes, Sunday, we will get back to this. We will attempt printing. And once I know we can print, I want to try and actually make a game. I have an idea of something really simple that we can do. So, yeah, this is amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But all right. Yes. Okay. It really meant you're excited to see this. Totally your wheelhouse. This is cool. This is fun. This is great stuff. I really like the idea that you can do this all legit in any. I'm hoping to I'm probably gonna make this the next video. How to do like GBA development using this thing for homebrew applications, because like you can. There's no reason to not. So, all right. Hope you guys all enjoyed that stream. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So, all right, I'll see you all. Wait, what's the outro? I've completely forgotten it. If you enjoyed this stream, you may want to follow to be notified when I go live again next. Wait, e-readers are expensive? I genuinely don't. I have not touched any of this stuff in probably like a decade. I should probably go do some research. Anyway, if you enjoyed this stream, follow if you want to help support the channel. You can get a shirt or find me on Patreon. For now, that's it. I will see you next time.